The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege. Ooh, that was the biggest one I've had to take so far. Supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack, and joining me is my co-host, Foxy, and our admin, Eisen, as we are here for the lower bracket finals of the qualifiers of Season 2. That is right. This is the final game of the qualifiers, ladies and gentlemen. Statics Gaming taking on Throw Syndicate on the map of Villa. And I believe this is actually the first stream match of the qualifiers that we're seeing Villa for. So kudos to both teams for coming to this beautiful Italian map, as already the ban phase is underway. Both of these teams have made their way here to this match, the final game of this qualifiers, and only one can go to the third division. It's that last spot up to Division 3 that is under fire, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a couple of interesting bans coming out already. Thatcher and Blackbeard have been taken care of from the side of the attack. Very surprising right here. The Blackbeard ban. You don't necessarily see a Blackbeard ban on the map of Villa, although given the rosters that are in play today, I am not entirely surprised. Mira will be taken care of in the meanwhile from the side of Statics Gaming, who are on the attack, so they had the first defender ban of the map, and Throw Syndicate, they have the final ban going forward into this game, and they have decided to ban the Maestro. Not too surprising right there. Thatcher, Blackbeard, Mira, Maestro, bans that we have seen time and time again in this on this map. Again, Blackbeard not so much as other operators, say Montaigne, Jackal, even Ace on the odd occasion, but today it is Blackbeard, the man himself. Speaking of that, let's have a look at the rosters that are here in the lobby for us. So today, from the side of Statics, we've got Royce, Kuntal, Phantom, Lane Jokes, an Unknown Gamer, and from the side of Throw Syndicate, Killsteel, Hecko, Cheesy Chimkin, Dark Lord, and Shazam. Second floor Aviator in Games Room is going to be the side of choice, and I've kept the man from the mic long enough. Foxy, take it away.
Well, first things first, I've got to talk about the ban phase. That was the quickest ban phase we've had in a while. Honestly, at least when it comes down to qualifiers, you know, just from the judgment of what I have on a general scale of how a ban phase goes down, this was very quick, and that can only mean one thing, that both these teams have come awfully prepared. They know exactly what they're going to do in this match coming up. So my eyes will be on this match, and everybody's eyes will be on this match, because this is in fact the finale for Season 2 qualifiers. The winner of this team gets the final spot that is still that is still up for the grabs in Division 3 for the league. Static Gaming has had an amazing journey so far, and hey, honestly, even after the roster change that they had for themselves, and a little conversation just with the players I had on the back end the other day, they're having fun, they're chilling is what I've got to hear. They're just enjoying the game, and that's the first step towards winning. Honestly, if you're not enjoying the game, you ain't gonna win. That's at least what I believe in. That's my motto. That out of the way, let's see what we have for ourselves. We've got a nice setup from the side of the attackers, at least in terms of the operator lineups that is coming in. Royce will make sure that there's no flank potential, at least not a direct one established from the side of the defenders. While we do see Super Kuntal once again, he's going to be on the Ash, very understandably so. We've seen the man bring out some amazing frag power for his team. It only can make sense why he is bringing out the Ash. Speaking of which, we do have the hard breach once again from the Ace. No surprises there, honestly. It's just standard stuff from the side of the attack. Let's just take a quick look on the other side of this. That is on the side of Throw Syndicate. We've got once again Heko on the Jaeger, and they're coming back from the match that we just happened to see them play on coastline. So it's definitely something we can stand up from, but Flamejokes already start things off. Shazam is going to take the fall. That's going to be on side, in fact. So that's the angle being employed from below. And somehow that worked in the favor of the attackers. So much off reach being done from down below, using this to their maximum advantage. That is, of course, the floorboards. Having the Zofia and the Ash is definitely an advantage for them, but here's Cheesy Chimkins. He's gonna get a frag for himself. That'll be Lame Jokes. The man who did happen to take on Shazam will not be staying alive anymore, but the Wamai did not expect that. At least in mind was placed a little too above. That stairs just could not warn him right in time. And that'll be Super Kuntal once again doing what he does best, pushing up and getting a frag. Top main stage control being established from the side of the attackers now, and it's all going to come down to what we get to see from the defense and holding this attack off, as they happen to be the ones on the deficit of a man count. Walt being held from the side of the long angle all the way from the balcony. This is very standard stuff, honestly. Nothing new. I really like that Statics Gaming is taking every single minute, every single second that they have in this match to make sure that they have enough information for the possible conversion going ahead into this. Echo is going to find the frag that was supposed to be found by the Legion before he got droned out, and that'll be Royce taking the fall. A 3 versus 3, make that a 2 versus 3 because there'll be Super Kuntal to go down as well from Cheesy Chimkins, and make that a 1 versus 3 because Heko gets a double kill for himself. Heko once again very influential for his team, but here's Phantom on a possible 1 versus 3 clutch. He's gonna get the first frag in. He still has more than ample time to get this clutch for himself and his team. He's just got to be patient about this, but he's taking too many shots, and Heko is just gonna walk away with it. We'll be taking a quick look at that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. Honestly, it's the man Ace just had a little bit of misjudgment onto where that door was. It happens. There's no huge mistake out of it, but it was a little bit of a clumsy round coming in from what we did get to see from Throw Syndicate. That was the starting of, at least in this match, Villa. That being said, we'll be going to round 2, and the side is going to be Trophy and Statue after the first successful defense round. The first unsuccessful defense round, rather, from the side of Throw Syndicate.
Round 1 goes the way of the defenders, as unfortunately Statics couldn't quite continue the momentum that they had in the beginning. They got a couple of good kills. Kuntal went all the way with the Ash, but he had some more distance to go before he could call it a night. Unfortunately, he couldn't, and neither could Statics Gaming, excuse me. I'm used to saying a lot of esports, just like Baba Gusta. It's just that I don't slip up often. Don't worry, Baba, we all love you. As round 2 is going to be underway. Second floor trophy and aviator is going to be the site of choice in this map, and with the kind of team composition that I'm seeing here, there's not going to be too much difference to what we usually see from Throw Syndicate. I really stumbled on every single word in that sentence. But coming back to the point at hand, it's not going to be too different to what we've seen normally on Villa second floor trophy. We've got the castle, we've got the Wamai. Probably there's going to be a hold inside of closet with a deployable shield from the Valkyrie facing in towards that very same room from the bathroom, which has a rotate. There's also a rotate towards the corner bit of the triple reinforcement wall on bedroom with another shield in that vicinity. And a castle barricade, of course. Kuntal in the meanwhile, all right, freezes as soon as he jumps in to the balcony region. Who knows, probably just had to take his hand off the keyboard for a second. As Lane Jokes is on the first floor trying to find some of these defenders. Anybody on the roam, that is what he is looking for. But of course, it's very early into the round, and knowing through a syndicate, they're just going to be holding down close and around sight. One, maybe two roamers outside of sight, and that is the most you're looking at. But from what we're seeing right now, I don't think there are actually any roamers from Throw Syndicate. All of them are inside of sight. It's an anchor hold, complete turtle hold from the side of TS, as they are trying to just throw off Statics Gaming with sheer manpower inside of sight. Will it work? We're about to find out, because Statics is soon going to realize that they have absolutely zero hindrance getting as close to sight as they want to, but can they get into sight is the real question here. Seal. Got a little bit of an error throwing down that magnet, as there is a push coming in onto bedroom and bathrooms windows. Though Mai has to be very careful as he's gotten back to his position inside of the closet, and Lane Jokes is going to be the first one to fall. Unfortunately, the Valkyrie comes in. Dark Lord takes a beautiful first kill for the side of the defense. With the Zofia falling, that's going to be a big chunk of the utility clearance that the attackers needed taken care of already. And now Shazam might be up next on the chopping block. He's going to go swing wide about this, and he's going to go down. That's the Ash. Kuntal, you do not mess with him, as he's going to get that kill. A retaliation for the kill on to the attackers earlier. But still nothing more than that confirmed. Killsteal still holding down inside of the closet. Cheesy Chimkanaver, that pre-fire gave away his position. Hecko's going to take a lot of damage, and the castle will go down. In the meanwhile, bodies are starting to drop right now as Unknown Gamer takes that one. But is it going to be enough? There's still 3 defenders alive, as Phantom will drop, making it 3 attackers alive, equalizing the body count between both teams. Royce barely gets that kill onto Dark Lord, but it's slowly getting in. The attackers are slowly making their way into sight. Looks like they're targeting Trophy for the while, leaving the Wamai to be dealt with by Kuntal. Killsteal's got a good angle, mind you, on the other side of that shield, playing a wide angle indeed, as Royce will take that kill onto the other defender. But Wamai's gonna push up, get one, and get taken out. Beautifully done by Royce to cover for his teammate, as unfortunately Killsteal, he had to swing wide for that kill, and that is exactly where he got spotted out. We'll get to see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay as round 2 goes to Statics Gaming, and it is now 1-1. The early game equalizer is in play.
There was a one-man show coming in from the side of Royce. Definitely very impactful frags that he happened to bring out towards the end of the round there. A triple kill to seal the deal and get the first round in for Statics Gaming. Good stuff from the Nomad. And somehow, this just happens to be the trend now that I think about it. Even coming back to the qualifier days only, I'm not talking about the league days, this usually does not happen in league table, but at least in the qualifiers, somehow it's always the flex and the flank watchers that happen to get more frags than the fraggers in general, at least that's been the trend in qualifiers. I've seen that quite a bit. Whoever happens to play Nomad gets so many opportunities to pop up, but that's just not the case, people. It was an amazing round for the side of Statics Gaming, but more importantly, it was amazingly well executed from the side of Royce. That was a really good round with the Rappelin kill that he got right off the bat from the start. That was very important. That being said, we'll be going ahead into this match on round 3. We've got a nice setup once again, looking very promising from the side of Throw Syndicate, as we've got ourselves a 1-1 equalizer as we head onto round 3. Lame Jokes has got himself, excuse me there. So I just happened to get caught off between my own words and my own thoughts, and my own burp as well, but that's something I'll rather not address. That was just a funny joke, people. That's right, my dad jokes are back, but we'll be underway with round 3.
Can we say those jokes are lame jokes?
All right, that was a good one. I've got to give it to you. So Lame Jokes definitely is he's got some support from the casters, but I wouldn't be too happy about it, because every single time the casters happen to talk about a player, he does not perform well. It's just the caster's curse that happens to turn up, and let's see if that curse is alive or not this time around, as we do see the push happening very swiftly so from the side of the attackers. That's going to be on the west side of this map. Standard stuff, the horizontal take on a map like Villa, we do get to see this a whole lot more from multiple matches that we've seen on Villa. But here's a change up. We still do see the bottom floor emphasis from the side of the defense. Do we though? Yeah, there is somebody at least on the bottom. Yeah, there's got to be, because I can only see 4 people on site. So that being said, we've already got the map control, at least in terms of how the attack is supposed to go, and the castle barricades being opened up. So many angles to look out for. This is going to make so much work for the attackers to get information first and then make the execute happen. This is exactly where Statics Gaming is going to have to perform that teamwork we talk about. Shazam going to try and swing wide about this. Does not find anything though. Barely happening to miss that head shot onto the sledge. But his position's now been given away. They know that somebody's playing inside Trophy. But I love this once again. Kuntal will go down on his own drone, but the sledge is already taken down. Kuntal does get the refrag. Meanwhile, the sledge will be right back on his feet. Kuntal is inside sight, people. This could be very influential. The man has gotten the early kill, and I don't think anybody knows that he's inside sight. Finder is already going down for the plant on Trophy. He swings wide about this. Kuntal gets a second. They're able to walk away with this, and it's a post-plant situation. Kuntal, is he getting all of these frags himself? Non-known gamer, meanwhile, is going to get himself a nice team kill onto Phantom. Royce, meanwhile, does find a frag onto, I'm not sure who though, but here's lame jokes. He did find a frag on a cheesy cake. It's all down to Dark Lord. The man is definitely confused. He's definitely not had the best rounds of his life. But oh, a nice attempt from the Zobia. Will get shut down by the Dark Lord. But here is Kuntal once again. Super Kuntal standing up for his team and getting that frag. As Unknown Gamer is having a giggle about how he happened to kill his own teammate. Well, I'm not sure if I would be giggling about it, but they got the round anyway. So, hey, that's still funny. 2-1 is going to be the scoreline, and we head on to round 4 with the lead in the favor of Statics Gaming.
It's all jokes and giggles until Statics decides to take things seriously, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, they might be chilling and they might be taking rounds, but they can easily turn up the heat whenever they want to. And Throw Syndicate are going to be well aware of that. Of course, former Gamer Syndicate here now to play under a different name, admittedly very similar name at the same time. They are going to be going back to the second floor set of sites, and this time it is AVG, Aviator Games Room, that will see action in round 4. Mind you, this is the only site so far that Throw Syndicate have won, and it was even then a fairly clumsy round from them. They looked a little all over the place, a little bit out of sync, but they managed to take it. That's the most important part. Getting that first round in competitive Siege, very important. You do not want to lose your first rounds. And even if you do, even if you're not able to take the first round itself, the second or the third one needs to be taken to firmly plant your foot in the game and say that we are not giving up. It's about sending a message to your enemies that shows that this will be a tougher fight than they, probably came in expecting. Interesting use of the castle barricades from Cheesy Chimkin right here, as he's mostly used them towards the trophy statutory bathroom and astronomy side to block off entryways and lines of sight for the side of the attackers. There's going to be reinforcements. Verticality will be played using the super shorty of the castle, and that's a lot of angles that Throw Syndicate are opening up. They're going to have to be careful on those same angles for themselves, because if Statics Gaming catch onto that, you can be very sure that there's going to be an Ash or a Zofia making their way down below to try and contest those. But right now, it's going to be a swift horizontal take from the looks of it from the side of the bathroom. Unknown Gamer already inside of the bathroom area. He's waiting to break that castle barricade. All the attackers are here, and they are trying to get into Trophy Statutory through Astronomy and trying to get a couple of bodies. The Legion and the Castle are actually going to fall back, and not much time has been wasted. Cheesy Chimkin's been droned out. He's going to fall back into the hallway, and Dark Lord onto the landings area. They're just pre-firing to make sure that they, just at least stall the attackers for a little bit of time, but it's not quite working out. Dark Lord's now on the stairs. Gumine goes out, and he will actually fall back to site. With 1 minute and 36 remaining, one needs to ask, is that enough time wasted, or will Statics be completely unstoppable now that they have not lost a body going into the second half of this round? Pre-fires are coming out. Cheesy Chimkin tried to find a couple of bodies right there. Wasn't able to, but now Statics Gaming are the ones taking their sweet time. They know that there's a castle in 90, so they have to push him out. And looks like there's going to be a grenade coming his way any second now. But Cheesy Chimkin, he's just going to fall back in time. Takes minimal damage from that grenade. But Kuntal, very close to sight. He's waiting and he's watching for a slip up from the side of the defenders, but Shazam's got a good angle right here as they are taking down the drones. But here's Kuntal. He's found one, swinging wide on towards Vault. He's going to find another. He knows that there's somebody there as the plan's going to come off from Phantom towards Default. And there we go. Double for Kuntal. He's watching for that office angle. There is actually somebody there, but it's a complete fallout. From the side of the defense, Statics came in and said, nice sight, defenders. This is ours now. As round 4 goes the way of Statics Gaming. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, as it is now 3-1 going into round 5.
Well, it was quite the start for the Statics Gaming, taking the advantage right away. And look at the man spearheading the attack, Kuntal, with those swift moves. Honestly, it's not only the shots that he's been 4 rounds in, we've already got the man on 8 kills. Look at that. Quick look at the scoreboard we just happen to have. But hey, here's the catch. How is Kuntal being allowed to do so much damage? It's just been that one-man show so far. This is good stuff, at least in terms of how coordination is going down. Statics Gaming is implying so much for the information trade-off and allowing Kuntal to be in positions like those where he can pick those frags. But hey, still it does come down to the fact that Kuntal he's been able to perform a little more, I would say, not so contested from the side of the defense. He's just been on top of his game today. At least not for today, and the entirety of the qualifiers for that matter. He has been popping off people. Kuntal has definitely had the best of his days, at least in terms of how kill counts go. But yeah, still got the entirety of the match left, and this is only on the side of the attack that we do get to see Statics Gaming taking an amazing score lead already. 3-1 is going to be in their favor. Round 5 will be underway with the action phase, and once again, we do get to see... Alright, so once again, I would like to point this out. The fact that Statics Gaming, I did say this quite a bit, but this is something that I think is throwing Throw Syndicate off of the balance that they happen to gain for themselves. We did see a repetition of such sorts with the Sage Empire match the other day. That was on day 1 or 2, I believe 1. Yeah, on the Clubhouse match, that is. That they had everything going their way, except they just cannot stand their own in the heat of the moment. And speaking of the match in hand, the heat of the moment is brought to you by Kuntal. He's been that one person who straight up just, puts the entirety of Throw Syndicate in a spot where they happen to run around very clumsily, and that's where the entirety of Statics Gaming is able to walk away with stray frags for themselves. That being said, let's see what Throw Syndicate has in store for us. At least this time around, we do see the Legion going for the rotate, dropping the red top stairs. Lame Jokes will be exchanging a gunfire with Cheesy Chimkins any moment, who's stationed up all the way on the side of 90. But no, he's gonna go for the rotate and down below. Very understandably so, but once again, I'd like to point this out. The defense not emphasized even a little bit from the bottom of the map. I don't think that's the best way you're going about it. Oh, nice. A nice nade comes in, and that'll be the man on 90, Cheesy Chimkins, taken off the board. That was really a good nade, honestly, because we do know Cheesy Chimkins was going for that peak on the... Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with my voice in the middle. It just lags out from my brain to my throat just in between that. But no, that out of the way, we still do have ourselves the pacing of this match in hand. Selma Breach is going off on the side of the wall. We have the Mumai going aggressive. Oh, this could be huge. They might be able to get so much advantage with this. And yes, Killsteel does walk away with a frag. Royce does get a frag as well. Royce gets a double, in fact. Where is the man able to get so much from? Royce gets a triple. He's inside side. He's on one, people. It's all under the last defender. He does hear his own nomad charge go off in distance. And now he knows where Dark Lord is coming up. He does not get the quad kill. A little too greedy. But Dark Lord will say no and shut him down, at least for the while. A 1 versus 4 possible post-plan clutch has just turned into a 1 versus 3 for Dark Lord to clutch it out with only 36 seconds left. And as I speak about it, the clock is ticking, and that'll be Lame Jokes getting the final frag, and Statics Gaming walk away with yet another round. We'll be taking a quick look at that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay as round 5 does go to them. But hey, Throw Syndicate, they've definitely got to wake up, because if not now, it'll be too late. Round 6 is underway. Hopefully, walking into the second half of this match, they'll be able to get a 4-2 for themselves. But I doubt that, just from the pacing of what Statics Gaming has put on board. 4-1, looking amazingly comfortable in what Statics Gaming has brought on board. Let's see what round 6 has to offer.
Now what we're seeing here from the side of Throw Syndicate is something I highly disagree with. They're going back to second floor Aviator Games Room again after the last round. After 2 rounds of losing second floor AVG, they are going back there instead of attempting on first floor dining. Throwing off Statics is what they desperately need to do, and even if they had some positives in the previous round to walk away with, those positives were clearly not enough to stop Statics Gaming, and there is absolutely no guarantee that they will win this round as well. Even if they have Melusi, even if they have Wamai, Mute, Vigil, it won't matter if Statics Gaming are allowed to do the same things over and over again, because Throw Syndicate keep bringing out the same ops on the same sites over and over again. This is a huge oversight from the defensive team right now, and they, just like Foxy said, need to wake up. Again, even if they get away with this round, somehow, Statics will be walking 4-2 in the lead with momentum into the defense. That is a combination that most teams on the other side of roll swap, if they are in the deficit, if they are on the receiving end of that wombo combo, cannot break. And seeing Throw Syndicate right now, something tells me it might not be a good day, a good night, shall we say, for them going forward. Already bullets being fired, but that's of course to open up barricades and whatever lines aside. The attackers need Dark Lords on the roam right now, while the Melusi is playing a little bit towards the lower half of the red carpet stairs. And just as I talk about him, Cheesy Chimp is going to find a big kill, dropping Lame Jokes. The Zofia falls. That's a big kill, mind you. Zofia is a big part of the amount of utility the attackers have, and Royce barely missing out on one of the defender heads as he just, you know, had to just move for cover, but that's unfortunate. He's also going to fall. Cheesy Chimkin takes a second one, and the Melusi is definitely making the attackers pay. Statics Gaming not looking too hot. Kuntung? He's waiting on the main stairs area. Does he know that there's someone awfully close? He doesn't. Lack of intel, as the Vigil will take his head off, relieve him of his duty. And it's now all down to Phantom and Unknown Gamer to try and bring this around for the side of Statics Gaming. It's only going to be down to Unknown Gamer. Make me a correction, ladies and gentlemen, as Hecko finds Phantom in the meanwhile. And it's a 1v5 for good old Sledge. In the meanwhile, a lone Selma Breach, the last remnants of the formerly alive Ace, go off in the distance. Unknown Gamer coming up the red stairs right now, the red carpet stairs, that is. He's got to find 1 or 2. He's leaning the wrong way, but somehow gets away with that kill, but not for long, as Cheesy Chimkin comes around and finds Unknown Gamer. That was a little unfortunate for Unknown Gamer. Leaned it the wrong way entirely, but it didn't matter. He did get taken out in the end, and that's what matters for the side of Throw Syndicate. They have taken around. It is now 4-2 for the side of Statics going in to round 7 roll swap. And so a little bit before I leave the mic over to Foxy, Statics might have gotten a bit too far ahead of themselves in that last round.
That's exactly what I was going to specify going right into this one, because it was not the fact that only Throw Syndicate. All right. First things first, Throw Syndicate did play a little on the front. Oh, excuse me, I just happened to mute myself. Excuse me. But yeah, Statics Gaming, they did happen to come out as very strong so far. But hey, it's the fact that Throw Syndicate, they did play on the front foot in the last round, at least on round 6. They did throw in that pinch of randomness to keep Statics from guessing what's coming up their alley next. But it was not only the fact that Throw Syndicate went a little overboard with the randomness, it was the fact that Statics Gaming went overboard with their overconfidence in that round. Honestly, that's what it looked like. They looked little too comfortable, and that's exactly where Throw Syndicate took advantage of it. That being said, we'll be going into round 7, and we've got ourselves a nice first half concluded with that last round. Round 7 will be underway here, and now Static Gaming happen to be on defense, and just from how this looks on paper. Oh, did I just see an iron sight being employed from Dark Lord? Was that unknown? That was not on his primary. That was on a shotgun. It makes sense, but just out of curiosity, I'm not sure why he would rip out a shotgun to get the default cam on. Hey, it's personal preference. We will blame him. Save him like 2 seconds of time. But speaking of which, the man has already quickly made his way, wasting no time inside the map. That's going to be all the way on the side of bedrooms. He will be meeting the Melusi any moment now, and the Melusi is got to just make sure everything is considered. No, never mind. Melusi has fallen down as well. That's good stuff, honestly. That's great stuff. A good attempt from Kuntal with the C4. Will not be able to find anybody. That does happen to be a nice default C4 spot, but right now there's just nobody standing on top of that area. A little off timing with that maneuver he tried to do, but Melusi though, he's being dragged from the Jackal. Does he know where this is coming in from? Jackal's position's being given away. No, he's still very confused where the Melusi is running away. He's not expecting that close quarter combat with him, but no, here he's finally gonna hunt her down, and that'll be the Melusi. Super Kuntal will not be alive anymore. Once again, not the best decision to make from the side of Static Gaming, sending Kuntal away out on a solo roam while the Jackal stays unbanned, because this is exactly what could have happened, and it did. Now you've got one less defender and one less pivotal defender to help you keep things alive. Phantom meanwhile did walk away with a frag on the Dark Lord. That's the refrag and the revenge kill onto the Jackal. The Jackal did happen to use 2 of his Inox scanners, so I wouldn't really say that, okay, there's still some scans left on him and whatnot, but definitely a man disadvantage, and the smokes will be lacking from the side of the attack. Lane Jokes holding down on this little soft wall that he's got for himself from the 90 doorway, while the breach onto Vault will happen, and that's going to make things all the while more difficult for unknown gamer to play on side Vault, and the Vamai goes for a nice aggressive peek. Honestly, I like that. Phantom knew exactly that. Alright, there's only one person outside the balcony. I'm gonna get that frag, and he did that very well. Kill Steam did find a frag, and here's the refrag right back from Lane Jokes. It's a 3 versus 2 now. We found ourselves in, and it's the attackers who are in the deficit. Shazam and Chi the Chimkins will be making the push. There's 2 angles for him to watch out for, but the Zofia does not see the Vamai right in front of him. What? How did he miss that? Cheesy Chimkin still inside sight. He's gonna find a frag. Now he's inside Vault though, and he's got 15 seconds to work with. Lame Jokes all the way on the side of Vault. He could go for the peek if he wants to, but it'll be the Nomad in the advantage into picking that fight. Not anymore. He's lost so much HP. There's no time left. 5 seconds and counting. No diffuser in hand. This is going to look very ugly, and yes, it will. There we go. That'll be the final frag for Cheesy Chimkins to just walk away onto Lame Jokes. He won't be able to get the final frag onto the Vamaido, and Statics Gaming will be once again walking away, just taking the lead further and further and further, just not able to stop right now. 5-2 is going to be the scoreline as we proceed to round 8, and now Statics Gaming sit 1 round away from match point. Hey, 1 round away, not just from match point, but from a spot in Division 2. 2 rounds away from a spot in Division 2. Yeah, I've definitely got to revisit my maths classes. Yeah.
I was about to say, I understand maths is a little tough for some of us involved, Foxy. Don't worry, I got you covered. 2 rounds to go for the side of Statics to completely secure themselves in Div 3, getting into the league. Some of these players have been waiting a long time, and some of these players have already played the league itself. And of course, you can never quite go wrong per se with a team like this. Statics, this version of Statics that we're seeing in front of us is looking very strong right now, and all they have to do is not get ahead of themselves. If they get overconfident, if they get sloppy in this defense, then Throw Syndicate will definitely show them what for, as we saw in the previous round. And I say previous round, round 6, the last round before Rose Swap. That's the second round that Throw Syndicate have won. That's why the score currently is 5-2 and not already on match point, of course. But with all of that being said, let the action phase commence, ladies and gentlemen, as this is about to be a very intriguing round. Throw Syndicate pretty much have their backs against the wall right now, and only 2 rounds separate them from a complete loss and a knockout after a very long and arduous journey through the qualifiers of Season 2. Mind you, the kind of setup we're getting to see from Statics Gaming isn't exactly too different, too radical from what we're used to on Second Floor Trophy, but it's pretty much the thought and how well they're able to take these gunfights, more importantly, that really counts here. They've left themselves open for a lot of gunfight avenues, and you can see Royce and the Malusi already on the other side, Phantom that is, on the roam. They're doing the drone economy dirty for the side of Throw Syndicate as Cheesy Chimkin is trying to get in there alongside his buddy. Looks like that's Shazam and Killsteal on the astronomy window. Shots are being fired, but no defender heads have been taken. No damage has been done either, as it's all down to Kuntal, Phantom, and Royce from the looks of it. Or, actually, Phantom seems to have fallen back to sight. Kuntal is towards Vault. Malusi has been spotted, and I believe so has the Bandit. Kuntal might be facing the heat of the... Yep, there we go. That's the Zofia. Bringing in the heat, taking a first kill and a beautiful aggressive kill. As Royce, unfortunately, looks the wrong way. He will get taken out by Shazam as well, as it is a very good couple of early kills for the side of Throw Syndicate. Statics may have gotten a bit too far ahead of themselves again, and they're going to be grappling with that issue if they do not reel it back in this round. Lame Joke's got a good angle right now through the rotate made into Astronomy, but he can get pre-fired any second now. Chooses to move as Phantom will take down Killsteal in the meanwhile, but the down has already come in. The damage is done. Well, Mai takes one, but gets taken out by another. It's all down to Unknown Gamer from the looks of it. 1v1 because Hecko is the only one on the other side. It's all down to these two. He's got to be careful on that bedroom angle because that is exactly where the Hibana's coming in from. Lame Jokes downed and bleeding. There's not much that can be done for his sake. Hecko pushing up, throws a flashbang, throws two. That's going to give away his position, but Unknown Gamer is going to rotate down below. Was that advisable? We'll find out right now. He's coming up the red carpet stairs. Again, an angle that's being watched by Hecko right now. But the diffuser, that's what counts. Diffuser's on landing, and the Legion has the angle. Can Hecko get this and get into sight in time? Can he bamboozle Unknown Gamer? Is this gonna work? The flashbang may have gone a bit too far, but Unknown Gamer's gonna fall back. He's going for cover instead, and now with about 11 seconds left, Hecko's gonna start the plant. That needs 7 seconds, but that was a bait, and he's slowly running out of time. If it goes on, he's gonna have to force the plant, and he will try to stick it. Unknown Gamer is just going to waltz into sight, and any second now. Wait, what? Oh! Okay, Unknown Gamer, that could have turned very nasty very quickly. Ooh, I was getting ready to leisurely call the end of the round, as we'll see in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, but the man was... Oh boy, the plant timer was almost done. It was down to the last millisecond, and if Hecko had gotten the plant off, he knew exactly where Unknown Gamer was coming from. It's not like the Legion had a lack of noisiness coming up to sight, but in the end, the kill was confirmed and a disaster avoided for the side of Statics Gaming. They are now on match point 6-2, one round away from securing themselves that coveted spot.
Well, that is true. They're one round away from taking this to what they want to, into the Division 3, that is. But hey, that out of the way, let's see what this round in specific holds for us, because it's all boiled down to this. Throw Syndicate, they definitely don't want to go away with a loss on this. They have put in a lot of hard work into getting this at this position, but definitely going to be heartbreaking if they walk away with a victory today, but with a loss today. It's going to be very heartwarming if they walk away with a victory, but more importantly, it's the question that will they be able to get 4 rounds back to back and put us on overtime? That's going to be the question we are looking to answer, and just from the looks of it, it looks a little unlikely, but I don't want to count Throw Syndicate out of this equation. An amazing roster, they've performed amazingly well so far. It only stands to see what the future rounds hold for us. Lame Jokes has brought up the Mozzie this time around. That will be doing so much work actually. That could help in terms of just how Throw Syndicate has been trying to bring out their attack, and the side is downstairs. That's on the side of kitchen and dining. So the top floor control is going to be the first and foremost priority for the side of the attackers. I don't get to see a whole lot of a whole lot of soft breach influence, at least in terms of how Throw Syndicate's lineup is looking like. Shazam and Dark Lord, the only ones with the shotgun and the lifelines. I don't think that should be doing a whole lot of soft breach that then required to do the reconstruction of the map, as I like to speak about a lot. Right now, it's going to be my eyes will be on Super Kuntal actually. He's playing the Jaeger once again. He's back on it. We've seen him pop off with the carbine quite a bit, and I mean, why not? It's one of the best guns in the game. Carbine happens to be. But let's see what we have going ahead. Unknown Gamer is going to get himself a nice cardiac sense as well. Dark Lord is actually the one who's going to take the fall from Super Kuntal already. It's down, but not out yet. Super Kuntal might pay for being greedy right now. Will he though? Yes, he will. There you go. This was like, I saw this coming from like a mile away, where Super Kuntal was very, he's very confused that should I go or should I not? And that's exactly the window he missed. In that little time window, he tried to think what to do. The attackers got time to relocate and just get around the person who was down. That was, of course, Dark Lord. One life lost on the side of Statics Gaming once again, and that will be Kuntal once again going down. This has been the fashion so far for Statics Gaming since they have happened to go down onto the defensive side of this match. But hey, that has been the lucky charm as well. Every single time Kuntal has gone down in the beginning, we happen to win that round. Let's see if they'll be able to do that this time around as well. Phantom still holding down very comfortably on side. We've got so much information trade-off, at least from what the Pulse is bringing on board. Unknown Gamer knowing Dark Lord is awfully close, but Dark Lord, he's like on a slither of HP. One bullet, that should do the job. Two maybe. Well, let's talk about the UMP in hand. That'll be from Unknown Gamer. One bullet does the job indeed, and that'll be just one straight to the head. Good shot from Unknown Gamer about how we wanted to take care of the Jackal. Meanwhile, Killsteel does walk away with a frag of his own. Royce is going to take the fall. But here's the play from the Moz. He knows there's somebody up pushing up to him close by. Lane Jokes walks away with a frag on GC Jimkins. But here's the push from Killsteel. He's going to get a double kill for himself this round. Unknown Gamer takes the fall. It's a 2 versus 3 that the defenders found themselves in a deficit of. But no, the Moz was hiding and the Zofia did not know that. Turns his back to him and gets a frag. Phantom meanwhile does find the kill on Killsteel. It's all down to my man Heko. He's been performing really well today. Will he get the clutch in on a 1 versus 2? He won't, and that'll be Statics Gaming sealing the deal here on round 9. Walking away with this match, people, fair and square, and they'll be getting the final spot that was up for the grabs on Division 3. Boy, oh boy, Statics Gaming a dominating victory. 7-2, quite the performance coming in from this side.
An absolutely amazing performance coming out from the side of Statics Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, as they will walk away with the map of Villa underneath their belt, won and conquered against Throw Syndicate. 7-2 domination to bring themselves into Division 3. And that completes our list of 5 teams that have gotten into Division 3 in Season 2, ladies and gentlemen. And they are, as we go in order, Sage Empire, Team Heat, Naughty Indians, Wolframite Esports, and now Statics Gaming. This team has been trying for seasons upon seasons, and they have finally made it into the division stages with a different roster than they started out with, admittedly, but even then, it's the thought that counts. With all of that being said, we will of course be going over the best moments of this game. And that is the reel of the moment right here, right now. Interestingly enough, we're going to start off with Kuntal trying to slither his way into sight. Unfortunately, wasn't able to. And it was a little bit of a rocky start for the side of Statics Gaming. Throw Syndicate showing us exactly what they did in the match earlier against the Resistance, which is, sure, their early rounds might not be the best, but they can stick it out in the defense as much as possible. But then came Royce. And the man, there was no stopping him in that second round. He came in and he came to play. Kuntal was there with him, of course, getting those kills as and when required. But it was that late game play by Royce that really secured them the round, finding Killsteel exactly when it was required. The timer was taken down, mind you. But then we had the post-plan situation. This time, the 2v4 that Statics walked away with, 4v2 that is, make that a 4v1 all down to Dark Lord, the last man standing. And there was only so much he could do against this formidable attacking team, of this formidable team that is Statics Gaming. one has to feel a little sad for, of course, Throw Syndicate, ladies and gentlemen. They have been trying, and they, of course, formerly known as Gamer Syndicate, have been trying for about as long as Statics have, but once again, right at the precipice of what could have been an amazing qualifier run for them, they were denied. This round 4 from the side of Statics, was an absolutely insane round, crazy even, getting in there, sticking the plant, and getting a flawless round to boot. And round 5 wasn't exactly all too different. It was all down to the 3v1, Dark Lord, the Legion, last man standing. There was only so much he could do with 2 people watching that entry angle into the landing area of sight. It was lame jokes to finish him off, as round 6 was the only other round where Throw Syndicate looked any good, and it was the only round where Throw Syndicate didn't even play like we have seen them play in this qualifiers. So far, what have we seen from Throw Syndicate is very strategic, methodical, slow, thought out. They know what they need to do, but in round 6, they completely flipped that on its head and showed us, all right, we might not be able to stand up to Statics on a regular basis, but we can be random, unpredictable, and completely insane as and when required. But unfortunately, they needed to stick to that, and they weren't able to. It threw them off even more, arguably speaking. And even though round 7 could have gone their way, the 1v1 wasn't to be because time was not on their side. This round, however, round 8, Unknown Gamer 1v1 against Echo. This was it was definitely going to be a very sticky situation for Unknown Gamer, because as you'll see in the replay, ladies and gentlemen, the plant was being stuck because Echo didn't have any time to search for the kill. Unknown Gamer was playing it smart, but then he came in and looked the wrong way. Nearly got himself taken down in a post-plant situation, but he turned around and got the kill in time for himself and his team. And then, of course, the last round, we just saw it. It was all history, as they say, as the 1v2 for Hecko was not to be. He had been doing so well for his team, but unfortunately in this matchup, he could not quite stand up. He was shut down by Statics Gaming time and time again, and that stands true for the rest of Throw Syndicate. It was, an unfortunate thing for Throw Syndicate to be taken out already in this season, but one team will win and the other has to lose. With all of that being said, we'll be awaiting Throw Syndicate's return in Season 3, ladies and gentlemen, as we will move on to Division stages starting tomorrow. That is right, no breaks this weekend, as we will be starting tomorrow with Division 2 in the afternoon, the same double stream that you are used to back at home watching. As we will be saying goodnight for tonight. That's been it from myself, Blackjack, my co-host Foxtrot, and of course our admin Eisen, as we will be calling it here tonight, and we will see you with Division 2, the start of the Division phase. Stay tuned and good night.